Hello everyone, Dan 14th Prime here. Want to do a quick video share out today with you guys on the new addition to the Prime Pyre. This is the Sideshow Collectibles Venom versus Spider-Man Maquette. As always, if you're interested in seeing people struggle with a box and styrofoam and unpacking stuff for like 30 minutes, you won't find that here. We keep it short and sweet. If you want to see the unboxing, the box, the individual pieces, and the pack out and the unpacking, check me out on Instagram, same handle, Dan14th Prime. I do it short and sweet for you there. It's in my story today and gets saved down in my profile for future reference. Again, Dan14th Prime. Check that out. So that leaves us to focus on the piece here in front of you. Again, Sideshow Maquette, which basically means they can do whatever the hell they want in terms of size scale to hit a price point. But as is the case with these versus dioramas they've done, Hulk, Wolverine, Batman, Superman, they're on the smaller end from a scale perspective. You can think of this as probably 1/5 scale. But that being said, it's still a nice size piece, has great presence. You're talking about 22 inches tall to the top of Venom's hand, about 15 inches wide to grab the edge of Spider-Man there, and about a foot deep. This is the exclusive, and you see the exclusive head on with that classic Todd Father look. There are 1,500 of the exclusive, which you need to go through Sideshow for, and 3,000 of the collector's edition. I'll show you that head a bit later on. They both retail for about $700. And with taxes and shipping, which wasn't bad actually by Sideshow standards, this was like $40 to ship it to me, but throw in taxes, you'll be pushing $800 to get this in hand. So let's take the quick once around over this piece. I do like it. I think it just works great together, super dynamic with the fight scene going on, a crazy Spidey pose out there pegged in on an arm, Venom reaching up, big muscular sculpt, great paint app in terms of just the symbiote black but with the blue shaded through, kind of comic book style. The spider emblem on Venom I think is just fantastic, and the paint looks great and a nice muscular sculpt. So again, I think he looks great. Spidey's sort of the little accent piece, 1/5 scale, but they do Spidey great. I've always been pleased the past couple quarter scales they've done with the sculpt and the shading on him. I think they've got a nice build and a nice shading paint application they do for Spidey. That pulls through here on the smaller scale, and I think works very, very well. And then they tie it all together with the base. You got symbiote coming all together out of the church tower bell shattered over there, little nod to the comic book scene. So I think it fits together very nicely. I do dig it. So let's just kind of jump in a bit here on some of the specifics. There's the big Venom chest. The spider emblem looks very good. Got a small, doesn't show up too well, but little small, super white paint knit on mine. But that's probably the only thing I could pick out on this Venom in terms of the paint app being wrong or defective, if you will. That's super minor though. See the big muscular sculpt. They do some cool things if you see on Instagram. Again, the assembly, which I put out there. The arms are separate here, and they just sculpt in a big, massive deltoid all the way to the tip, and the arm just kind of fits underneath. So it layers the anatomy. That's, I think, pretty smart and works for him, and it helps hide seams. It's also up here on the head. Now, this is a little bit more of a prominent seam, kind of upper chest into the clavicle. It seems like it could sit down a little bit more. So you can see how that fits together. But again, with his big shaped muscles and bulkiness, it fits pretty well. You don't notice that as much. The arms, I think, are beautifully done. This is pretty good. Again, I could probably have that a little cleaner. Not terrible though, so works good. You get a little seam back at the head. I don't get this on the head pieces, honestly. Like, there's no reason for that not to be just one sculpted piece, really. But for some reason, it looks like he's got like a lid on his head, the way they might have put that together. I don't know why that's the case. But you do get a seam coming all the way around the back, which personally I could do without, but it's around the back. So pick it up a little bit here on the profile, but not terrible. While we're upstairs, let's check out this head sculpt here. This is, again, why I had to get the exclusive, the Todd Father. Try to get down here. Tough angle. And it's kind of interesting about the piece. I think you could really kind of pick some different angles to display this, and you get a different just look, a different feel from it each time. So that's kind of something cool in terms of how you can move it around over time. and just appreciate it in a different way. But anyway, here's that classic head sculpt dead on. Nice eyes with the white and the kind of caulky, chalky sort of black blended in through there. You can see the big teeth, the mouth inside. So this is why I got the exclusive. This is sort of the old school Venom and Todd McFarlane, so had to do that. If you want the more contemporary look, which of course comes on the main collector's piece, which I think a lot of people are going to like. You know, it's this one with the tongue, signature tongue, just whipping all over the place. A little bit crazier look in the eyes, and more gnarly teeth. And just kind of wetter, sort of drooling effect all across the tongue. Looks pretty good too, so. Both are good. But again, I just had to have the classic look. As an old school Spider-Man comic book fan and growing up from that era of Todd McFarlane, needed to have that, but this looks really, really good too. I think a lot of people are probably going to prefer this unless you have some prior connection to a classic Venom Todd McFarlane type head sculpt with the exclusive. Let's just kind of hang here and I'll just show you. You can check out the sculpt. I mean, this is like every muscle, I think, sculpted into that anatomy, which I think works for Venom. Just a bulky bodybuilder, shredded Eddie Brock kind of look. And we got Spider-Man coming down low here. So jump over here a bit there. Spidey's leg wasn't going to clear the camera. Here we get the back. Venom's big muscular back, always a thing here. And the big spider emblem on the back, that's got to look good too. And I think they do a damn good job here as well. I think the logo is so cool. One of the reasons it really caught my eye to the piece, just the way they did, I think the Venom sculpt and the logo on them, just really, really sharp. And the paint app's cool. I mean, the way the light hits is kind of when you pick up the lighter shades of blue versus the darker blacks. I was just looking up and I was like, damn, that arm is blue. Is it defective? But no, it's just like, maybe a little tough to pick up on camera. That little subtlety always is on Venom, but kind of goes a bit more blue to black just on how the light hits it. Got a lot of light on top of the camera, obviously, so that's bringing it out. And then just gets you the rest of the way around the core. I mean, hopefully you're just appreciating the sculpt there. I mean, that's the main point. There's a lot of it up there. And Venom's torso. Just point out the hands here. I think they look nice. Like big hands with the big claws on the end. They very naturally kind of come off the ends of the fingers, so they don't look like weird fingernails or anything. So I think they did that pretty nice. Kind of tough to pick up, so I'm just kind of giving you some angle there because it blends. But, the white patch, all that stuff is all there. I think the hands look very nice. And then lastly here, our boy Spidey. Again, like I said, I think it's a nice representative Spidey sculpt. Nothing too crazy in terms of musculature and stuff. Just kind of that lean athletic build. Classic suit on, some nice shading through there. And, a good, I'd say, balanced head. Doesn't jump out at me necessarily, bigger eyed, which I liked, but I look at it a little more on the round side, so not exactly probably a Todd Father type design or anything, but sort of representative of that era. But having the quarter scale of him, the Goblin version, I look at that and it's like, it's just sort of like that shrunk down almost. Even more dynamic pose, but kind of when he's launching off that bridge or what have you. It reminds me of that. They just went even crazier with the legs. And then down low here, solid base. Solid. Again, the theme, the nod to the bell tower makes sense. It's all right, kind of like a bronze sort of look with the weathered kind of look you get on that type of metal. Wood here, the end of the wood looks pretty good. And the symbiote kind of just flowing everywhere. It looks okay. It doesn't look bad, but I don't know. It doesn't exactly look fantastic to me either. And there's just like this crushed building thing, which I'd say, again, solid, basic kind of stone sort of look to it. I think they pulled it off reasonably well. Check out Venom's lower leg there. Again, just the anatomy. See all the calf sculpted in. Sharp muscle design. Here, this whole splatter of black, I'm kind of like, You know, again, you probably wouldn't see as much of that on display, but I just think that looks sort of okay. Some of this wood looks really good, the way they did some of those pieces. So, you know, very solid base. There you can even see really tough, but inside the bell. Try to get a little bit more light going in there, but you can see it's got all the corrosion, the green look in there inside of the bell. So nice attention to detail there. And while I'm here, just the one quality issue I've had is the fit of the peg here was a struggle. Again, it's probably just mine. They made 4,500 of these things, so I'm sure they got most of them right, but I've got a lift there. I've tried jiggling, wiggling, and everything to get that to settle in. I just think it's off a little bit. When I pull the body out, I can see the peg sort of wearing and on the hole, so it's obviously not centered well and therefore not slipping down all the way. So I got a little, probably quarter inch. It's all black on black on black type, so it's hard to see, but a little quarter inch probably gap there, which is tough to notice, but a bit bigger deal here. You can kind of just see the foot really does just sort of float. Should be sitting down in there. Haven't been able to get that down, so probably contact Sideshow about that. I'm sure they'll just replace it, which is fine. Not a big deal. So that's really it, guys. Quick share out on the new addition to the Prime Pyre, the Venom versus Spider-Man Maquette. I like the piece. I mean, admittedly, I was kind of hot to get some new Spider-Man stuff. As big and popular of a character as he is, actually, we just don't get as much licensed stuff for the guy. And I say that in the context of being a Prime 1 collector, where it's just like we're getting several Batman and Superman statues like every year, right? We just don't get that with Spidey. So I was pulling the trigger on everything Sideshow is doing with their new Spidey releases. This piece, the Symbiote, should be coming in this year yet as well. But yeah, I think the piece is good. I love that it's dynamic. I think the sculpts on both Venom and Spidey are good, balanced, representative of what those characters should be. The paint apps as well, equally good. Brings out the best of the sculpt. Very comic book inspired paint schemes as well, so I like that. The base fits, so a nod to that as well. So yeah, just overall, you know, meets expectations, solid, and happy to have it into the Prime Pyre. Again, check me out on Instagram. Unboxing is out there. Same handle, Dan14Prime. Assorted affiliate links down below for any of your fun shopping needs. Purchases through there support the channel at no cost to you, so thank you very much for that. Do appreciate it. And stay tuned. Been a little slow here with collectible deliveries, given all that's going on, wrecked supply chains and all of that, but I think a lot of stuff is on a boat, you know, sitting off the coast of the U.S., just waiting to sort of make its way through, and we're going to have, you know, lots of stuff here landing through the holidays, and hopefully things get better into next year. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Supports the channel too. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.